Action.
We're back, and I know you couldn't wait to see us. It's a magnificent Monday all over again with your best friends, your best black friends, that is, the super black friends.
And we're back. This is Monday Night Raw featuring the Black Super Friends. I'm your host, D. Horace Towns, and I'm back. I had been off for a week or two. You've seen some of my multiple personalities show up on screen the last 2 weeks. They were all entertaining, and they all fulfilled your expectations. So tonight, even though it is daylight savings time, which means it was 9 o'clock when the sun went down where I'm at, before I go to the people that I call my best friend, who you know around the world as the Black Super Friends, I would like to highlight that is daylight savings times. And I'll come back to that with a fun fact in a minute because Chris Leo thinks I'm Google search engine and requires me to do research. And I won't even share my comments to him tonight because it didn't end well for me the last time when I shared my comments. So before I go into that, I'm going to introduce my peoples. I'm going to introduce the man that travels the nation like he's selling books. You know him as the ladies' man.
Listen, good evening, everybody. I'm coming to you today from Houston, Texas, in the state where it's big and exactly how I'm doing it this weekend. Welcome to the Black Super Friends podcast. How my brothers doing? How y'all doing?
What's going on, my brother?
Hey, give it up.
You they got a casino in Houston?
I hope turkey leg.
Man, listen. No, man.
They got a casino up there?
No. Right. I'm on a water diet.
You smiling, licking your lips, drinking out the mini bar.
I feel good. I'm rested. Listen, man, I'm ready.
What Texas just in a national disaster? And you up there?
Listen,
what's going on? What you working for?
That mean everything on sale. You got to come on, man. We've been talking about being frugal. We've been talking about, being better stewards of our money. What other better time to catch them? Why they down? You got to come out and enjoy.
I can dig it.
You got to come out and enjoy.
This you don't got to wear no mask.
I am afraid of this. Damn lie. I got my mask with me. They don't give a damn about no mask here though at all. Man.
You don't have to wear it.
Yeah, I'm straight. I'm wearing mine though. I ain't able to do it.
All right.
I can't.
Next. Well, Zay's exploiting another state, but listen, I'm gonna go next to my main man, Super Mario Sr., father of Super Mario Jr. What happened?
Hey man, I'm just happy to be here, man, amongst the living and not the dead.
And you know what? Next, I'm going to the guy that we have given a truce because he was once a pain in my behind on this show, but we've been doing good lately. I want to call him many things. He's very intellectual. He's enlightening. He's charismatic. But I'm going to sum it all up and just call him the nickname that you guys are going to know from now on. Chris Caesar Leo.
Yes, my brother. Thank you. You had me at Caesar. We back. We black. And if I owe you something, I'll pay you back when I get my stimulus check. Thanks for tuning in. Stimmy.
All right. Well, since Chris thinks I'm the Google search engine, I am going to share something. Tonight, where you're at, the sun may have not went down when it should have went down. And due to a scientist named George Hudson, who was a scientist, he's an entomologist, means he studies insects. He came up with the idea for daylight saving times, which was a proposed 2-hour shift. So he had more afternoon hours of sunshine to go bug hunting in the summer, right? But the United States, now that was 1895. The United States didn't introduce that until 1918, right? Which didn't go long before it actually was introduced again in 1966 under the Uniform Act, which was established by, I want to say, the Roosevelt administration, right? So to sum it all up, the whole purpose of it was to, now I'm going to go to the idea is that the summer months, we shift the number of daylight hours So we get into the evening. So if the sun sets at 8 p.m. instead of 7 p.m., we presumably spend less time with the lights on at home and saving electricity and saving energy. Well, you have people that come up with that premise is the way they got that to pass. But in reality, it just made sense. Be able to say, hey, it is, the sun's still out. I'm not going to go to bed, so we have to shift those hours. So it really gave y'all more time to do the things that you need to do. And honestly, it does save energy and time. Have you guys been able to shift and handle the new daylight saving time, Chris, Caesar, Leo?
I love daylight saving time because it gives you a different time. I honestly like the one before. As a single man, I think that as a single man, it's always better for the sun to go down earlier because rarely do you like day sex. But this time as an entrepreneur, I think that it's always better because you get more daylight time and it don't get dark until 8, so you can still get a lot of your business handled and it's still light and you can see everything on the road, less accidents. But depending on what type of mood you're in, if you're an entrepreneur, you like this time. If you're a dater, you like the previous time. But thanks for that education, though. Appreciate it.
Yeah, well,
quick question for you, Chris. Hold on.
What's up?
I was gonna ask you, how do you differentiate between day sex and night sex? Like, aren't you just happy to be having some? Do you really?
You're right.
You really?
That makes a difference. It makes a difference.
I'm a weird guy like that, dog. Give me mine at night, dog. I don't want to. I just don't want to do it in the daytime. You know what I'm saying?
Me too.
I'm weird like that.
Man, I'm just happy
I think
to be
it's
a
a Leo
part of
thing,
it.
Chris.
I don't know. It gotta.
I think
be.
It's a Leo
My
thing.
brother Mario.
Yeah, I get it.
I
don't need ain't no daytime out. It can be wide open.
I'm trying to tell you.
Sunshine.
So listen, I think it's a Leo thing because when I used to get day sex, I'm like, I'm not really sleepy. It's just
it's not the mood. I want to be
Why?
sexy,
Wait, why you going to sleep, my brother?
Yeah, see, that's even better for me because now I can
problem is why you ain't going to sleep.
You don't have to. You don't have to. Like want to cuddle and want to stay. We got stuff to do, man. We don't. Okay, let me go about my day. I might could sneak in somebody else.
No, but I can compromise.
Bang, bang, bang.
I compromise for morning sex though.
Right.
Like early sunrise, boom, I can do it. But like 12 o'clock, man, I got stuff to do. I don't want to be knocking you off at 12 o'clock. 4, like, no, man. Give me some 8-ish, 9-ish, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know.
Nightcap.
I got ugly feet too, so maybe that's a problem also. I don't know.
Oh, you want to keep that darkness.
You know what I'm saying?
Darkness is your friend.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, that's interesting, man. Listen, I'm going to go back to this link in a minute that I just somehow screwed it all up. But listen, guys, it's trending news. You guys are coming up on your 1-year anniversary. It ain't been a year, dog. It ain't been a year. Y'all coming up on a year. Oh, boy, I got the pictures from the initial shows. Oh boy, I'm gonna put a reel together for y'all, boy. I think our first show was like 2.5 hours or so.
And we got the emotional and all.
Yeah.
Damn.
I think Chris cried on that one too.
I don't think so.
Hey, listen. So I said all that to say, man, the fight for Black justice always is continuous, and I always use the term: is it justice or just us? Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, we're coming around almost to a year. Breonna Taylor still not got her justice. The George Floyd family, I think, just voted through council to do a settlement for $27 million, but it doesn't bring these people back. I wanted to get y'all take on that, Mario.
Yeah, it's sad that we even have to talk about this a year later when it was such an atrocity. You know what I'm saying? It's like you got killed, and if I kill somebody by mistake, it's manslaughter, and I go to jail because taking somebody's life, even if it's a mistake, you should have to pay something in retrospect of your accident. But it seems like if you wear a badge or if you're on the other side of not being a civilian, then you're above the law. And I thought the whole point of being a police officer is protect and uphold the law and serve us. But it seems like in these cases that if you're a police officer, you get the extra, it's okay, you made a mistake. And that's just a sad thing that this young lady, she doesn't have a life anymore. and there's no justice, and it's like just reoccurring. I try not to dwell on it too bad. Even with the George Floyd thing, yeah, they might get the money, but he gone and he has children, and we talk about this on the show so much about the effects of not having a father present in kids' life. And now, no matter how much money they have, they're still not gonna have that male figure that really walk them through life as a shepherd. And then when you think about all this stuff that's going on in the world, you be like, man, it almost puts you on the edge of your seat, saying, like, it's almost like, when is the next one gonna happen? You know what I'm saying? Like what's next? Like what's next? And it's just, not to ramble on. It's just sad that after a year you get shot dead in your bed and no justice. I'm sometimes just speechless.
Yeah. I want to add this, guys. We do have to highlight that the boyfriend, almost a year later, took for him to be acquitted of he's not facing any charges and whatnot, right? Like, it's almost take a year for this man to be acquitted. He doesn't have to worry about facing any charges. That almost took a year. Second of all, no, Mario, you're right. At 1 month, I was showing people, like, we were going from incident to incident. Some of them wasn't a month. Some of them were 2 weeks. Because still, like Mike Brown, like, we actually had hashtags that really trended damn near every 2 weeks. So you couldn't even set emotions on this because something's going to happen here. You know what I mean? From South Carolina to Minnesota, over and over. In fact, I didn't get the video today. We just had a situation today, which is interesting, where a young lady didn't make the right decision, where she was stopped. They found a bag of marijuana on her. Officer tried to get out the car. She fired on the officer. He fired on her. She went and crashed after pulling off. Like, you had a bag of marijuana. Now you're leaving your kids, your family. We got to make better choices, because, like Goodemar say, you can't make no moves when you're in the hands of the man. So we have to be wise and understand we're prisoners of war to a certain extent. But I wanted to highlight that financial payouts can't be the resolution. Every one of those situations, they gave money, but people lost their lives. And I mean, every one of them turned into a settlement. But what is that doing? Those people are gone. They won't benefit from it. The families hopefully will. They form those funds up. If they form those up correctly, that's the purpose of the settlement. But like I said, man, I pray for my brothers, because we still have work to do, and hashtags shouldn't be a thing. So, Chris.
Yeah, I appreciate what you guys articulated. It is sad that it's the year anniversary of something. I mean, it's a year's time since that tragic incident. Like, it's always extra tragic when it's a woman. It's almost like we're used to police brutality when it comes to men, but when it comes to women, it's always extra surprising. Even with the Sandra Bland situation and countless others. But I don't know how to think about it once they do take the settlement, because in this situation, I want to point out that Breonna Taylor's family got a settlement, a pretty nice one, and I think George Floyd's family is going to be. I think it's one of the biggest settlements there is. So just ask what we get. The family get the settlement, but I think what we got is important. We recently a bill passed in the House called the George Floyd Justice in Policing Act. This act bans chokeholds. This act ends racial and religious profiling. I don't know how that's possible, but it also eliminates qualified immunity for law enforcement, which is very, very important, because that's the thing that gets the officer off. It also mandates a data collection on police encounters, which would now give them, just like the criminal gets a criminal history. This would give them a record to put their information in a database, so they can't just jump around, get a job. It'll be public information of all the encounters that they had, which I think is a really, really, really good thing. That this bill passed in the House. It's going to be tougher to pass in the Senate, but with the Democrat majority, I don't see why this shouldn't pass. And another thing that's really good about this bill is persecution and criminal persecution of civil rights violators. The problem with these cases was the language in the way the law was written. The language was always willful violators. But this bill is going to change the language to reckless and knowingly violators, which makes it a lot easier to prosecute officers that violate your civil rights. This hits home for me because I have a sister right now that's dealing with the same thing. She's been a victim of police brutality, and our family haven't had justice. So this is very important to me. I hope that this would be a testament to their lives. I hope they would sacrifices to get us this bill, because this is so important in our fight. When the talk about defunding the police came, a lot of that met with a lot of opposition. But I don't think that this bill should be met with such opposition, because again, we got to have the conversation about changing the way we police in this country. So hopefully this is what we get from it. But I don't know what else to say, man. I pray for that family. Say what you got,
man. Rest in peace, Breonna Taylor. It's sorry that a year later we still don't have any justice for you. It's sad that they have a bill actually in her name, but no justice for her family. Just behooves me. It's again another sad story of the boyfriend a year later having to be exonerated when he did nothing but protect his home. He thought it was intruders, but they would try to shed the light, another way. But in the same sentence, they'll charge an officer for discharging his weapon into a wall, but not into a human being. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I can't make any sense of it. And with the George Floyd thing, and even in the Breonna Taylor case, with the settlement, who comes up with this amount? How do you put a price on a man's life? The man is dead. And then if, we know anything, a man is the head of the household. So like Mario said, the shepherd, he used to teach them what to do. You give them all of this money with no teacher, no guidance. It just comes right back to you. So that, I don't know. I just feel like that's a setup inside itself. It's like too many times I wronged you. Here's some money. Shut up and be quiet about it because I paid you. So for me, I don't know, because you can't not take the money, because then you're deemed a fool. But then you take the money, it doesn't bring your peoples back. So what good is it? I don't know. I'm just up in arms about it. It's stupid. I just wish it would stop. Hopefully some of the reform laws that you talked about, Chris, comes into play and kind of simmers down what we've been going through as Black people. And hopefully some change will come, because it's not justice. It really is just us.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Hey, listen, I want to actually go to some trending news. I want to support one of our colleagues in the IAF, International Ass Whooping Fathers Coalition, and who had a problem this week. So we want to highlight that because people actually requested. I don't know if you're familiar with the outrage that Kurt Franklin received, but I wouldn't apologize. Can I play the clip for y'all?
Oh, yeah.
Sorry for the obscenity.
Okay, if you think I'm reading this paper, let me say it like this. When your bitch ass starts getting disrespected, you need to get your skinny motherfucking ass back out the goddamn way before I put my foot in your ass. Because I dare you. I dare you. I dare you. I dare you. Shut the fuck up. I'm old. What's up? I will punch your neck, nigga, if you ever disrespect me. I did it. He just hung up the phone? I'll break your neck. Is that a threat?
Oh, my brothers, fathers on the panel. I want to say that moment when Plies came out of Kurt Franklin, we all understood as South Florida Floridians. And I want to say that on that call, Kurt Franklin called his 33-year-old, he's a man, 33-year-old son, a bitch-ass Negro. And after his son leaked the audio, I think Kurt made an accurate assessment about their situation. So I actually had to share that because, he actually went out there and he was apologizing, man. But before I share my thoughts, man, just knowing as a father that's raised boys that are now men, oh my God, can let's not know that you're gonna have those moments, whether it's us growing up dealing with uncles and fathers and male figures, that's the testosterone levels, or sometimes just bad upbringing can affect a lot of situations. And I wanted to get y'all take on that. Mario.
Well, thank God my son is young right now, so he can barely say one, so he can't talk that good. But I pray to God he never gets the galls or balls to ever talk to me like that, because I don't think I'm as close to the father as our brother Kirk, and I'm more of the plies than him. So, but I'm gonna raise him up right so he know the fear of God dwells in my fist, in my hand. But I will say this right now. The pain that Kirk must have been feeling to be tried as a man, because as a man, we all equipped with pride, and to reach that stature that he has reached in life, that people respect him who don't share his bloodline, who didn't sleep, who he didn't feed, who he didn't clothe, and they respect him and call him Mister, and yes, and open doors for him, and get up in chairs and clap and applaud him, to have your own flesh and blood, your first child, your first son, talk to you like that in such a manner that I heard Kurt say we've been dealing with this for years, that to the point where everything you've learned and everything you prayed for and everything that you meditated for goes out the window, and you just get so engulfed with anger that it takes you there. I feel sorry for him as a father, because as fathers, we know how much we love our kids. So I know that when he heard that again, he was hurt again, that he had to talk to his own child like that.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of fun has been made of this, because once again, it's a 33-year-old man. It's not a little boy, and the whole while he was talking or antagonizing his father, he was laughing and thinking it's a joke, and then for you to imply that you would try to somewhat say that he was going to hurt you for real, like you were going to call the police and everything, to take it even further, because the only reason why you did this is to some way hurt his career. And knowing that he takes care of your other siblings and your mom, it just shows you that we live in a crazy world right now. That right now we not only have to worry about George Floyd, Breonna, but sometimes we have to worry about the own person who we raised. And I just pray to God himself, baby Jesus, and everybody in that manger, that DeMario Jr. never talks to me that way. I pray to God that he never does, because one more thing before I go, what you're seeing is privilege. And I often say my biggest accomplishment that I can say right now is that my children will never know how I was raised. So Mario will never understand what it is to be in the hood. He would never even fathom that if I can help it right now. You know what I'm saying? I did stuff and stuff to put him in situations where he's going to probably be green. He's going to probably have a lot of stuff in life that I didn't have. He's going to probably not know hood terminologies. And I'm happy to say that. But in giving him all that, he's going to have a little bit of that silver spoon attitude in his mouth. And then sometimes when those kids get that, they turn out like this. So that thin line of, hey, bro, be grateful and appreciative for everything you got, and that I'm deserving this, and that entitlement is a thin line. So I took heed to this as a father and said, I got to make sure that me and Mario have a lot of talks, and that me and Chris talked about this long time ago, how much no's are necessary to kids, and how much setting the boundaries, even though I can. And it's just another reminder that even though I want to a lot, and because I can more now, to continuously know, because that no means something, and that no is a reason. And I just feel sorry for Kurt and the whole family, even him. I all in my prayers.
I'm gonna have to agree with you hard, because that's the tension. What you were saying, that he's seeking somewhere inside of that it's some attention. But that sucks. That sucks. He's seeking it. What's up?
Listen, what I actually got from that, due to just me understanding, whether it's Kurt Franklin or not, we see that situation. We've seen it before. I seen a young man that don't know no better, or he just broken, rejection, man, even though he's 33, there's a lot of dudes out here that's in manhood that still ain't faced some of that trauma, still ain't faced their childhood. They still got they battling with rejection and abandonment. And sorry, I'm gonna take the heat on this. And dealing with mothers who hated the baby daddy or hated the seed didn't make it better. I've seen a lot of situations like that where the mother talks so horrible about the daddy that the kid just has no respect for the daddy. You know what I mean? And it's really damaged that relationship. That situation, I felt bad in the sense that it's a 33-year-old man who's trying to damage his dad's career, feeling entitled, and somehow he'll probably don't be surprised if you don't see him doing interviews over the next couple of days to profit off of this little fiasco.
Definitely a fact.
Yeah, and the thing was, man, like I say, when you have these dudes 33 years old, those daddy issues, those mama issues, man, it's dudes out that never even address them, and it comes off. I forgot who spoke on that, and the way they handle situations, it comes off. It shows in the way they deal with stuff. That's not how men handle stuff. My dad, I had all kind of issues with my real dad, and I'll see him. He'd be like, "What's up, bro?" and dap me and keep walking. But I never disrespected him. You know what I mean? He's still a male. He's still a man, and there's ways that men are supposed to handle themselves and conduct themselves. And I think him not having a male around or a positive male showed in this situation, because the way he handled that was on some fuck the sponsor bitch assness, as we would term. The way he handled that, you don't get no points for that, brother. Even the Bible says you got to respect your parents. And I'm pretty sure maybe Kirk Franklin wasn't this successful person way back then, but I'm pretty sure you've gotten some privilege or some financial benefit from being Kirk Franklin's son. You living a little better. I don't care how bad it is. Dad is going to listen. Knowing where Kirk come from, I'm pretty sure that dude is even then trying to repair that relationship that young man can understand. And before I go, no, we're not canceling Kirk Franklin. Y'all ain't canceling when he was on Oprah and said he was addicted to porn. Stop putting these people up on a pedestal like we can't be human. The man is a man. The man is still evolving. He makes amazing music. He ministers. Don't act like people don't have real life issues. We only trying to get better every day. Stop trying to cancel people every time they do not do something that fits a stereotype or image. So that's my talk. Listen, Christians have real problems. People of God have real problems. Black men, especially with all the stuff we face problems. So before I go anywhere, I'm gonna go over to Chris Caesar Leo.
Well, fellas, I see fault on both sides. To be honest with you, I see faults on both sides. I'm gonna start with the fault. I'm gonna start with the son, because anytime a person records a private conversation and puts it on the internet, they're doing it to exposure, and that's what hoes do. So that's whole shit to me. Like you get no respect from me for doing that. It's too much father, especially black father, disrespect that we got going on for a son to do that to his father, because you're doing that to tear this man down. And like Mario said, this man supports the rest of your immediate family, your mother, and all that. So to do something like that, that's just whole ass shit, and I don't respect that at all. So, I completely done with him. But I'm not. I fought Kirk Franklin also, because me personally, I look at pastors as I look at police officers. I do hold them to a higher standard. I think that we should be able to hold them to a higher standard. When I heard that recording of what Kirk Franklin was saying, those words you use, bro. I said those words the same way. You use that vocabulary. That's like the same thing when I hear a white person say nigga, and I listen to how they said it. Oh, you use them words. This ain't foreign to you. So let's come to grips with that. This is vocabulary that this man uses. You know what I'm saying? So, and I hold my pastors up to a higher standard. But the thing is this: I see a lot of people very, very forgiving of it. So again, I think that we have to have a conversation about how we view pastors, how we view just Black Christianity all together. Because I remember 3 weeks ago, I went to a pastor's 40-year-old birthday party that he celebrated with his wife, his kids, his immediate family, his immediate friends, and I seen them get some backlash for it. And this was in the but we forgave Kirk Franklin just like that. I don't believe that men should be violent to each other anymore. I'm done with that. If it ain't threatening your life, it ain't threatening your livelihood or anything like that, or your family, we're not doing that to each other. We're not breaking each other's necks no more. We're not doing it, and then we're not barking back and forth over the phone no more. If we're gonna do something, we're gonna do it, but we're not gonna do none of that no more. So I think the whole situation is both parties are wrong in this situation. But I do want to have this conversation about Christianity, Black Christianity specifically. We really need to have a conversation about that. I look forward to us attacking that subject in the future.
Well, Chris, we got to talk about that, but we're also going to talk about what you're missing. Broken men. We putting the expectation on Kirk. We don't know where Kirk at really. We just know him. He's a gospel singer. He's a famous person. We don't know enough about him. But every day you got old men that's having kids. Man, in our Black homes, between Black men, we have stuff we actually have to address. We got cycles we need to break. So that's a show we got to have, because first you got to identify.
We shouldn't hold pastors to a higher accountability.
If you feel that way,
that's how you feel. I think
should he have not mastered? Should he have not mastered his calm by now?
Well, maybe but see, that's judgmental. What if that's one thing he's dealing with? What if that's what he's dealing with, Chris? We all dealing with something. So what if that's what he's dealing with? That's what my point was.
I understand. I completely understand, fellas. I think it's completely wrong for the disrespect. But I'm sorry. I do hold my pastors to a higher level. I just do. The same way I hold cops. I expect a higher level of professionalism from them. I do.
Chris, well, 2 points before I go to Zay. One, when I was younger, I had a pastor, fake pastor, came into church, and I was green then, prophesied and told my mom I was on the street, I was going to sell drugs, and I was the worst person, right? It offended me so much, I didn't go to church for years, right? Now, in the midst of that who that hurt in reality? They hurt me, because if I died without salvation or whatnot, I would have missed out. You get what I'm saying? I'm saying with my sons, Tyler, Jamari, and Kendall, I've had those moments where the old bull versus the young bull, where they have tested me, and I have gotten out of character, because I can never let the young bull feel like he can whoop the older bull. So there has to be order. That's like being a king. Order must always be. You can't be compromised, because once you allow that, the kingdom is in chaos.
But if a king orders something, he best to do it. He can't be barking orders. Can't be talking about he's gonna break necks, and you're not really about that. If you're not really gonna do that, let's stop talking to each other in that way. But I also want to say what was my biggest issue is the apology. When I listened to the apology, that was an apology. For one, I didn't hear apology to God. Maybe that's a personal thing, but I didn't hear apology to God. I heard apology to us. He didn't say that to us. And if he didn't feel that he needed to apologize to his son, then why do we deserve the apology? That's what I'm saying. I don't condone what he did. I think that, goddamn it, I'm a father too. Don't play with me like that. So I totally get that. Again, I do hold my pastors to a higher level, but I totally get that. But what I'm saying is, we can't. What are you apologizing for? That's how it is. That's what it is, and keep it moving. Don't apologize to us, because you ain't do it to us.
Well, go to Zay. We apologize for that reason.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Exactly. But I was also going to say that I don't think he should have given an apology. So I'm with you, Chris. I'm going to have to come at this systematic or broken down into 2 pieces. Kirk Franklin should have gave an apology. He is a human being, Chris. That's the thing I was going to tell you. He's not perfect. The Bible tell you that. Nobody perfect but God. He without sin cast the first stone. So you don't know to what wit's end he was with his son. You don't know what he's going through with that man. And from what I can see, that man was taking him there purposely. That's why I was saying everything that he was doing was attention seeking. Kurt fell weak. like we fall weak to flesh, he fell weak to anger this time. And he exhibited some of those things, which are probably his, what they call that, conviction. Because that's probably who he was when he was in the street. Like, I'll do that to you. And it brought it up out of him. So for that, I don't think he should have gave an apology. He needed to make it right with the man upstairs. I think the people that's down in Kurt need to look at their damn self, because you are more worried about an individual. Are you serving God, or are you serving that individual? You tighten up your relationship with the man upstairs and you pray for that man while he's not on the right track, what you should be doing. You're not sitting back being judgmental. Shouldn't do that. You
so
feel
he's
me?
on the wrong track.
Who? He's off. He's off. A car needs a tune-up. He needs a tune-up. But I think that, like you said, his prayer or his apology should be to his father. He don't owe me, you, or anybody else anything. You understand what I'm saying? He's a human being. That's the point that I was coming. But also, too, like you said, I think we do need to do away with that, talking to each other that way. I've been there. I understand where Kurt was, that frustration level. I've been there. I once said to a family member that's like a son to me, or a little brother, that I break your neck, because I felt that level of disrespect. But did I ever want to talk to him that way? Never in my life. But he brought me there. You understand what I'm saying?
Does it
exactly? But
you gotta stop being brought there.
I'm not perfect. I'm human, such as Kurt. So the only thing I can do is absolve myself, make sure that myself, God, you know what? I apologize, and come to that individual and let them know, hey, listen, I know I said that to you in fit of anger. I really never, ever wanted to talk to you like that, nor should I. So for that, I'm wrong. But don't ever put me in a position to test me like that, because then I will.
Anything that comes after the but, the first part don't matter.
I hear you. But at the end of the day, with that young boy and that old boy, like too, to say it's a test of wills, you gotta teach as that older one. He thinks that you're old, he thinks that you're weak, that you can't do these things. You have to put down that hand of, boy, this is how it can be. I don't want it to go that way. And that's teaching. You gotta teach that, man.
I want to say the two things that just I would try not to touch this, because I don't like to get into church matters unless we're gonna be biblical all the way and use assumptions. But I just want to say these two things. First of all, to be a Christian means to be Christ-like. And Jesus himself walking this earth got mad several times. So it's no man that can be on this earth that can be better than the son of the God. So how could we expect any man living to not get angry when Jesus himself got angry when he was walking this earth? And he directly came from heaven, if you believe in the Bible. That's the first thing. The second thing is that right now, Kurt apologized, not just as my assumption, because I don't think he was sorry to his son, because it's an ongoing thing. He apologized, I think, because he has a brand, and because once again he does feed his wife and other children. And so when your publishers come to you and say, "Hey, you are a gospel leader and the matriarch of the whole gospel group right now," like him and TD Jakes sit at the throne of gospel of Christianity right now. So right now it would have been foolish and unshepherd-like as a husband or father and the matriarch of a whole entire family line for him to go out there and be prideful and say, even though I'm right, I would not apologize. A lot of time as men, and I'm learning this right now, we say, "Oh, I killed somebody to talk to my daughter. They whooped my daughter. If somebody try my wife, we'll do this, this, and this." But sometimes we won't just be unproudful and say, "I will lay myself on the cross, and I will be shamed. I will put my pride aside, my rightness, and say, if I have to get out here as a man who was chastising my son and apologize to feed my family, I'll do that too." So I think it's easy. Like right now, that's just the way I'm looking at it right now and standing right now. Because there's a lot of stuff I used to say I wouldn't do, but now being married in this position right now, there's a lot of stuff that I will take right now that I used to wouldn't take, because I understand I got so much to lose. And I just think it's a tough line when you start saying what pastors shouldn't do. And I agree with Chris to a certain degree. We should hold them to a higher level, but we should never, ever put them on a pedestal above being a human. Because, like I said, I mean, we could quote scriptures, but Jesus Christ himself got angry. God got angry and destroyed whole cities. These are the people who we're aspiring to be like if we're Christians and believers. It's no book, it's no God, it's no Bible, it's no Quran, it's no God, any religion you ever want to believe, where the higher being did not get upset. So how could I believe that any man walking this earth could get upset and not act in anger?
I'm not saying that you can't get upset, and I understand that because I agree with his reaction. What I'm saying is this. Again, I put them to a higher standard. I think that level of peace that I heard that Jesus gives you, that should have been able to cover that for threatening violence to your son. And if he's doing that much, you have to let him go. You got to have the power to just say, I'm done with you. I love you enough to not threaten your life. I love you enough to not talk to you in that manner. I've been there in that situation. I've had family situations like that. I've had to let it go. Let those people go. Let those people find their way. But again, I cannot get to the point where I'm threatening violence. We have to stop that as black men towards each other, especially if we ain't really about to do it.
I agree with you, Chris. But listen, I'm not going to beat this like a pinata. Mm-hmm. But until we identify the PTSD and the things that we do, that is something that happens. And anger, being a bull, and for whatever reasons, those are the language that is what comes out. Some people can't process their anger. Some people bring their work, stress, all of that into their job or to their day-to-day. You know what I mean? We see a lot of stuff, man, in the community. So that's definitely a conversation we need to have, because I think we could be on that for a whole hour. Discussing Breonna and George Floyd and their payouts. Let's talk about you people that receive this stimulus payment, okay? The people that make these, you know what? You people that got the stimulus money, how are you guys doing with that? And I'm going to keep an order. I'm going to go to Chris Caesar Leo.
Well, I haven't got the stimulus money yet. I received the other payments, but I guess the question is where we go from here. I'm not sure. I mean, I think that we should need to prepare for whatever going on, because I've never been in a situation where the government gave $1,200, $600, and then $1,400. That's a total of what, $3,200?
That was the question, wasn't it?
Yeah. So
I got the question.
Where do we go from here? I think that's
where we go. Y'all got your little stimulus check.
Yeah.
What's next, black people?
I don't know. But I do think that we need to prepare for it, because it's coming. They didn't just give it to us for no reason. So something is coming down the pipe. We got 3,200 and we got a vaccine. So, take both of them.
Well, your president said more taxes today.
There's gonna be some changes come. So what I'm hoping is this. What I'm hoping is what we do is plant a seed with it, a seed for improvement. Mario's motto for this year for us and for basically everybody, but we use it is better. I think we need to do something to plant a seed to get better. I see Sandra Newby say save. I have to respectfully disagree, because saving, putting your money in a bank account, it only gives you a fraction of a percentage of money you make on that. It's not even worth it. I think that we need to invest. I think that we need to invest in us. I think we need to invest in our specific talents, whatever that case may be. I think we need to invest in credit. We could take a lump, 1,000 of that, put it in the bank, create get a self loan from that, help build our credit. We put that money in the bank. They take the payments out every month on that $1,000. By the end of the year, you build your credit up, and then you get your $1,000 back. So I think there's a lot of things that we can do, but I would hopefully we're making smart decisions. And I think that the number one thing I think we should do is invest and also spend it within each other, because if you spend it within each other, it has a chance of coming back around to you. If I spend it with Hardy spend it with Horace, and so forth and so forth, it finally gets back to me. So I think that's what we should do.
Mario.
Well, I think Chandra, and to a certain degree, I agree with Chris and her, and I want to break that down to say what I'm saying on this. I think right now, what happens a lot of time in our black community, not to look down on us and everything, but I live with a woman who's a budgeting queen, and if you ever need a budget, go to her Instagram, Budgeting with Sense. It's my wife, Jaleesa Hardy. So she maps out like so much stuff on like where to put money, where to take money from, how much money. So she just do this, right? So then I always say this. The problem that a lot of black people run into, because we say a lot of stuff that sound good. And I'm talking about a lot of stuff that sound good. Like first thing we're gonna say is invest. But then 90% of us don't have vision, don't have anything to invest in, or don't have no knowledge of the easiest way to stock market or anything to invest. So a lot of people are gonna be like, man, I got this money, and you had no plan for this money before you got it. So now you're sitting here with this money in your hand, and you like, man, what I'm gonna do with it? So the average person gonna probably go spend it because it gives them gratification. That's why if another thing you see on my page, if you follow me, is delayed gratification. So the first thing why I'm saying I agree with Shane on this, I'm not saying save for the long haul. I'm not even saying put it in the bank. I'm saying just save it for a month or so. Get your thoughts together. Understand, you have a friend of some sort, you at least should, that's probably already have a business that's going. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Sometimes you can help it go faster. So you might say, well, man, I don't have no idea what I'm gonna do. And be real with yourself. I don't know nothing about the stock market. Neither do I care. I don't want to see my money going to the bank because I don't trust them. And I don't want to go buy those Air Mats and seem irresponsible. But I know Chris has a pickup. I know Zay cuts out. So you know what I can do? We can sit down and strike up some kind of deal to say, hey, how can I help my brother, my homeboy, my friend, and me get a return? Because business can be made within friends. So I challenge everybody out there with your stimulus check. If you don't have a plan that's already in motion, or if you don't have a business, or if you don't have something to make your direct life better, making your circle better sometimes comes back around to you and makes you better. So me helping them might make me stronger because I might need it. And if I help you to begin to get to $1 millionaire, you might even hire me one day. So I tell people that with this money right here, find somebody that you know or something that you know and invest in it that way. I don't want to just tell you to invest because a lot of times people are going to say they're going to do that, but they too prideful to even say, I don't know where to start it. So I'm saying, look within your circle. Canvas the land. It might be your barber who you get your haircut with every time. They might need some new clippers. You might can pound that into getting free haircuts for a year, and now you end up actually saving money from haircuts. So I'm just saying, look at us. I go back to what Chris saying. We investing into ourselves as black people because most people hang with their race. So if we start investing into each other, we won't need a stimulus check. We'll be our own stimulus check. So that's what I want. I want that to be us as black people, our next step. That's what I want.
Ladies, man.
Hey, man. You all have some good things to say. I actually run up against this every tax season. As a tax preparer, as an avid tax preparer, I sit
for
down
what
and try
company?
to Infinity Taxes and Beyond. We got you. Listen, I sit down with individuals every year as we go through what they're expecting on a return. I ask them questions, thought-provoking questions as to what are your intentions for this money. And the minute they tell me, spend and things like that, I try to not tell a grown person what to do, but if I can educate you, I can teach you, put yourself in a position. We say invest in ourselves a lot, just like Mario said. We don't have a clue as to what to invest in, but you can invest into your well-being, invest into your credit. Start small. You understand? If you don't have a credit card, get you a secure credit card. Like Chris said, put that money in the bank, save it, like Chandra said, but save it with a purpose. Put that money in the bank, get you a card, charge on the card, use the money you have, pay it all the way off. Pay it with a purpose. Don't charge just to charge. Pay it because you know that within a year's time, you want to see that score increase. Why? So you could purchase a house. Why would you want to purchase a house or property? It's because that's what all millionaires, it's where they came from. Real estate. You got to learn ownership and the power of it. How do you own? You need money. So your stimmy, don't fall for the crab legs. Please don't do it. You know what I'm saying? We're going to laugh at the jokes because it's funny, but, at the end of the race, you're going to be laughing because you're going to be left behind. Others who prepared, like Harsh would always tell, was that the ant and
grasshopper and the ant.
The grasshopper and the ant. You can bawl like a dog now. You're going to cry like one later. So we definitely want to try to tell you with this money, put yourself in a better position, put your family in a better position. It's not a whole bunch of money, but as God told you, be a wise steward of your coins. That's all they got for you. But if you need any help, any one of us, I think, will be willing to kind of help guide you, but you do have to sit down, like Mario say, gather yourself, figure out what it is that you want to do or who do you want to put it into and figure out a ROI and just go from there. My bad. Go ahead, Harsh.
No, I was going to say being loyal. listen, I will say this. One of our loyal viewers, Don, said, don't forget about guns and firearms.
Amen,
Let this be
Don.
the chance to get your first firearm and license concealed permit. That is not a bad investment. At the end of the day, worst come to worst, you can always pawn a weapon or a firearm, but you do need one as an African American in this world. Second, what I do advise people is to learn the stock market. If you got 1,000 that you cleared your bills, you got a good chance of taking that stimmy money and tripling it or quadrupling it. If you take the time to learn stocks, get some startups, get some penny stocks, that money can go a long way towards your investment in future. Like Chris was talking about the banks and whatnot. Man, sometimes more millionaires are made with real estate. Now, the stimmy money might not get you no real estate, but you can partner with people or start an investment club. I'm pretty sure at the least you need to think about doubling that stimulus money. Use it as a seed. If I had $1,400, I would take that $1,400, invest in stocks, double my money, pull my $1,400 out. I got $1,400 that's going to mature and turn into $52,000 to $10,000. So that is my idea. And for the people that just want to blow it, I will be a personalized, unlicensed massage therapist. I've been seeing videos going all over the place.
Mr.
I will make house calls. Yeah, ladies, man.
I was gonna say to you also too, because Horace, you help us a lot. You know, a lot of people say you're telling them to educate themselves on stocks so that they can do it. You don't have time to waste. If you don't have the education right now, you need to be able to take your pride, strip it, and speak to somebody that knows what they're doing so you can get the ball rolling. Just do it and then learn it in the meantime. So I don't want, that to hinder anybody because they heard us say, oh, let me learn this before I do it, that they miss out while the getting is good. Find somebody that does know what they're doing, strip your pride, ask, get the help, but also take that time and point to yourself to learn it as well, is what I wanted to add.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I do not tell anybody unless it is a real winner. I don't tell you to go in there. I only suggest stuff that I know for sure is going to come back. You know what I mean? Chris, you had something else?
I just think that the fortunate thing about this stimulus is everybody gets it. And
not everybody.
Well, majority of people gets it. If you have that hustler mentality, then it's the same thing that you did on the street. Take a portion of it, find something you can invest in legally, and continue to flip and continue to flip. You have to attack some of the things that we learned from the streets. We'll apply those into real life, and it's the same game, just legally. That's all. So think of it in that manner.
Yeah, forget y'all, president. Hey guys, I'm gonna ask you a question. What are you guys doing?
Yeah.
What, Chris? What you say, Chris?
I said does that mean the other ones was yours?
Chris. What are you guys doing directly? What are you doing to better yourself for the next generation?
Okay.
What are you guys doing? The guys on this panel right now, you guys have evolved into great African American males. What are you doing to better the next generation? How are you impacting the next generation? How are you making things different? All right. I'm going to go down to the person that heckles me all through the show. Chris, Caesar Leo.
Oh, man.
I was nervous.
Honestly, this question threw me for a loop because I'm not actually doing anything. And
I can answer that for you.
And that saddens me because I felt like 5 years ago I was doing so much. I was mentoring kids. I was coaching basketball. I thought I was impacting a lot of kids' lives and a lot of young men's lives because I came in contact with a lot of young men. And lately I started to feel like, I'm not doing that. So that question really threw me for a loop because I like I said, I just feel like I'm not impacting kids' lives like I used to, and it's hurtful. But we'll find a way.
Well, Chris, I want to answer on your behalf. The Chris that I met 10 years ago is not the Chris I see today. The Chris from 5 years ago is not the Chris I see today. The Chris from 3 years ago is not the Chris I see today. So you talk about the time when you were mentoring and you really felt fulfilled because you could see day to day what you were doing to impact lives and change lives and influence. The conversations you had with my son, I have a grown son, but the relationship you have with my son, I thank you for it because you're making an impact on his life. And sometimes he go through those seasons where he don't want to talk to daddy. He call you Uncle Chris. He say Uncle Chris, and y'all talk. Y'all have a relationship, and I trust you with that. So never undersell the things that you do. The thing I want to add to that is, Chris, last year you started a business. How many people in your family have started a business? How many people work a job and a business? You know what I mean? The things that you've done to put your kid in a better situation, the things that I see you do today, even going on this journey with the Black Super Friends, getting the t-shirt press, you know what I mean? Pick up. Nah, bro, you doing things. And sometimes you go through those spots where you don't see where you actively doing, making an impact in someone's life day to day. But you make an impact in my life. You're making an impact in my son's life. You're making an impact in Cupcake's life. The things you do for your sister. So never undersell, man, because Chris, you are a different person now. Not the asshole that I once knew.
Well, I've been
call you asshole again.
Well, I've been called worse by better people.
I was gonna ask,
but no, hold on. Let me say thank you though. But I appreciate that, my brother. I truly appreciate that. I look up to a lot of the things that you say to us, and I really appreciate you saying that to me. Let me hope no goddamn onions. Nobody cut no onions around here.
Good. I'm glad, Chris. You never know what anybody's doing or watching. You never know what people are watching you do when you're not looking. So I'm saying that to you because even though you may feel like you're not, I know some kids that feel differently. And I know some adults too, as we can see now, that definitely don't agree with that assumption of yourself. But keep up the good job. Just keep doing what you're doing.
Mario.
When I had this question, I think that the biggest thing, the first thing I did is I said that I was gonna make sure that I'd be there step for step with my son. So I said I'm gonna do. I had my daughter, if you don't know, at a very early age. So I was trying to figure out who I was. So I was just trying to make it, and I thank God that she turned out to be who she is. So as the second time around, I said the biggest thing you could do to the next generation is create a productive person to participate in the next generation. So I hear women, and I hear men always talking about little boys with all these issues and all these family issues. So the first thing I did is say, I'm going to raise my son and every kid out there with a strong structure of family and love. So then I start saying my priority is going to actually be them, like in the betterment of them. And I start by my delayed gratification once again and start saying, okay, you know what? I like a lot of things. But let me put myself in a position to, if my son get older and say, I don't want to work for nobody, he can come work. He can work for the business with his name on it. Then I said, okay, he might be a knucklehead, in a screw up, but then he could stay in the house that I own, and I never have to kick him out. He never have, if he can never afford rent, he can stay here. So he don't have to go on assistance or have to be forced to go out and rob or sell drugs and all that kind of stuff like that. The second thing I said is, let me put him in a situation with when he look out the door and he get despair, the people who gonna give him the most support is not gonna be people who are misguided themselves. A lot of time with us, we were all good people, and I think at some point in our life, the streets wasn't the allure of the streets wasn't the killers and the robbers and all that. It was the money and the good-hearted people. I have a lot of friends that in the streets gave me the best of them that they could, and that's all they could do. But they weren't criminals and all that, maybe to society, but they were loving people to me. So I think what Tootie was saying with Chris runs true to all of us. I think right now the biggest thing you could do for the next generation is what they always say, it starts at home. Teachers say that, pastors say that, everything. Right now, you raising your kids to be good, productive citizens. I'm trying to talk to Jayla daily about being a good wife. I see how combative women is. I see it. So then I pour into her like, baby, don't do that. You're going to get a man. Like, I see Mario. I want him to open doors right now. I want him to walk with his head up, to say no, ma'am, to go hug his mama. So right now I'm pouring into mine. I'm starting at home. And then hopefully, because I do feel a little bit of what Chris is doing, I should be doing more. So hopefully I'm sweeping around my own front door right now. But hopefully my door get clean enough that I can start sweeping down the street to other people's, and then it'll pour out. So if you ask me what I'm doing for the next generation is I'm starting with the ones who I'm responsible for and then making sure I do my best to make sure they somebody else's blessing when they go out into the world on their own. That's what I'm doing.
You're professional.
Amazing.
Damn, I almost went good. I almost went a whole show without it.
It looked like it was prolific too.
Rod Slide. Listen, I was saying before I went to Zay, before, what am I doing to better the next generation? People say that I haven't, some fans or some viewers have said I haven't been transparent enough on this show, which I can't agree with. I think I've given all of me, even in self-serving therapy, to this show. When we first started this show, even my casting, I was a post-divorcee, still in love, battling depression. And now, throughout the show, from Kobe to Nipsey, looking at those boys' legacy, I just had an appreciation to know that, man, none of us had a silver spoon, but long as you are courageous enough to just try to be the better person that you can be every day, God is going to honor that. And I would say that we're transparent on this show, man. We've had a lot of moments. I have been open and I've talked about my life in different aspects. So the stuff I do in the community, I don't even know, looking back from where we come from, how I even got on that journey. It started me speaking at a council meeting about some broken water fountains and broken AC at Tate's Gym at the time. Then, you know, hell, being lined up now with my friend Ronnie, who is the mayor of Riviera Beach, Michael Odom, who's called the mayor of Pleasant City, having impactful friends, my friend Don, having impactful friends, man, has really given me some mentorship that I needed, which is why I'm going with this. I've been the oldest person with you guys, and I hopefully the thing that I can say with my kids, whether it's your kids, my kids, people in the neighborhood, whether they ask me questions, I have been open enough to say, hey, bro, this is how you do this. You know, I was just talking to Lee, my gold model, the other day, and we had an amazing conversation, man. And just having that conversation with a brother, we don't have that enough. You know what I mean? Back and forth. He was asking me about this. I'm asking him about that. So just being open, it's not no competition. It's a genuine love for my fellow brother that I want to see us all succeed. I want us to get better. I want us to get past our trauma, our hurt, just being the best thing we can be for our kids and for each other. So not to ramble on, I think I'm better in the generation by breaking down some of those walls that we've had and just saying that, listen, I ain't always got it right, but look at me now. And let me share with y'all how I did. I'm gonna give you the good, the bad, the ugly, and I think that's the way. Just being transparent. A lot of times in church, you'll see the pastor preaching and he talking about hell, but he don't go to the point where he tell you that he once was a domestic abusive person or crack substance abusive person, or just giving his testimony. That way you can see the pathway to his redemption. So that's probably, hopefully, you know, I'm like Chris in the sense that I don't know what I'm doing. I just know that I'm giving what I have to other people out there. So I feel like you, Chris, I'm trying to figure it out.
Shout out to Lee Meyer with One Capital Property Investments. So they buy homes at any way, any condition, and everything like that. So I want to give a big shout out to him since you said you guys had a conversation.
Yeah, the brother blessed me this week having a conversation with him. Latest man.
Dwight, a graduate.
My brother.
Well, we ain't gonna hold it against him.
Horace, I do want to thank you because you taught me to no 3X velour leisure suits. I don't ever want to own one of them.
Whoa!
But I love you, my brother, because you always teaching me.
You guys been having some moments the last couple of weeks, man.
Behave, dog. Behave. No, but for real, Horace is right. We've learned a lot from him, though. You know, his mistakes, we be like, I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? And some of his triumphs, you know, we follow through. So the thing that because I feel like that. I feel like I've messed up a lot. I don't know everything, but one thing that I am open to is always sharing. I tell people my life is a revolving door of information, because if I did something incorrect, I want to make sure that if a young person is watching me, dog, don't do this. You feel me? Because I did this, and man, it looked like it was fun, but it actually put me 10 steps behind versus where I should actually be. So if you can cut the crap now and just get on beat, you'll be light years ahead of your homeboys or friends. You see what I'm saying? And not unfortunately, fortunately for me, the young guys come to me, and by way of my barber chair is where I learned this. And this is why I was telling you, Chris, what I said. You never know what they're watching you do when we think we're not doing anything. Because a lot of kids come to me and get their hair cut and think that Mr. Zay is just the coolest thing in the world. You feel me? But they don't understand that Mr. Zay is fighting every day to try to get it right where he feel like it should be. I don't all the way have it together. And that doesn't even matter to them. And that's the point that I was saying to you. It doesn't matter to them. Just keep being that beacon, that shining star to them, and keep correcting them, because I know you will. You understand what I'm saying? And put them on the right path. That's all I try to do. I actually what Mario said about the bearing of the cross, or where you put yourself to where you're the sacrificial lamb. A better words to say, you're the sacrificial lamb. I tell them all the time, look at me, because they love the orange car. They love Zay with the dreads. They love Zay that had the big jewelry. And I tell them, if it was anything that I could probably take back, I think that was probably the biggest waste of my time, because of what we were taught. Like Mario said, we had some fun-loving guys to teach us how to be golden dudes, and also this street stuff. But what if those dudes knew anything else, business, stocks, real estate, and they taught us that, we would have been that much better in life. Unfortunately, they gave us everything that they have, and this is what we're doing with the generation that's coming up underneath us. So let's just make sure that the information that we're giving them is going to put them in the best light. Because for lack of better words, they were our ceiling. So they look at us because we've shot past them. We're in the sky and in the space compared to where they are. And if we can just do that for the generation behind us, they'll be that much better, I feel. So my ode to society, my service that I provide, is that I'll be the sacrificial lamb, but I'm also still working on myself so that they can see that you can do this. Like Tuda said, I don't have it all together, but look what I've been able to put together without even having a roadmap. Imagine if someone took the time to pour into me, where would I be? And that's all I got for them.
Well, what I want to say, I think those things are really, really good, but I want to put some tangible things out there. So what I think is I want to challenge us to see if we can collect the funds to start some kind of scholarship program or some kind of something to pour into a group of kids, or one child, because it's each one teach one. So I challenge us to start a Black Super Friends scholarship program, or something that we can give tangible back to a child, maybe two, and go from there. Because it's one thing to do it, on a superficial level, but I want to do something tangible. Turn your mic on.
Amazing.
You are a professional.
What a night. Listen, Mario, they said something that was interesting, man. Sometimes we had those moments. They was talking about the people that showed us stuff, and I always talk about my dad, and I had my issues with him. One thing I can say, he taught me about the streets. That's what he had. That's what he knew. And some of those lessons have saved my life over the years. Taught me about the streets. He taught me about women to the best of his abilities. So, what people have to give is what they're going to give off. And I just sum it all up saying the blueprint, man. We didn't have it all figured out, but look what we were able to accomplish. So, Zay, what if Boobie never passed away? Some of the people that were our role models, I can only imagine where we would be today, man.
Untouchable.
Yeah, hey,
honestly,
man.
Because you got to think about it. What you're doing right now, Boobie was doing when we were in middle school and ninth grade. And he was trying to teach us that at that age. If we would have got that, man, that would have been so powerful. Trust me. So people they really don't understand. We feel like, I think they feel like we're light years ahead, and we feel like, damn, we behind. You understand what I'm saying? Because we could have been in certain places, but in due time, God always do things in His measure. We'll get there. We'll get there. And if He put it in us, I always tell people that we are a conduit. God bless us so we can bless others. We definitely gonna impart that into anybody that's close in there. So
yeah,
that's
well,
what we have for.
Y'all definitely have benefited off my embarrassing moments. All of them, boy.
They were teaching.
Yeah, you laugh pretty hard, Xavier.
I probably learned the most lessons.
Listen,
I probably been around the
one,
most. I learned the most.
You was right by my side when you do the Black Super Friends behind the scenes. Oh, I'm telling everything. Oh, Chris. Oh, you would not be forgotten. Oh, Chris. Oh, our foe might come for you now. The Toll Plaza, they come to recoup, buddy.
They still looking for me. I remember we used to have the bubble Chevy, and you know how the bubble Chevy, the gas tank was in the back with a license plate. We'll throw the license plate down and ride
Out.
all night long, boy. We were getting it out here. Orlando was a gold mine.
You were so bad when I finally actually went to Orlando on my own. I was like, "You supposed to stop for tolls?"
We ain't do that.
I had no idea.
See what I told you? What you were taught.
Yeah, man.
Amazing.
Listen, this week I have a good bonus for you guys. We are going to go to a viewer question, and I am glad that we have participation this week. I don't know what they're gonna earn. Probably, you know what? We'll give them a Black Super Friends T-shirt, custom made. That'll be the prize for the interaction. It'll teach others to interact. So I'm gonna go to the video, guy. Okay, you ready?
Hi, Super Friends. It's V. Smith here, and the question that I have for you all is, does a woman's social media activities or presence affect if you take them seriously for a relationship? I'd like to hear your answer. Thank you.
Yeah. And guess what? It's no better person than to go to is the date doctor, Chris Caesar Leo.
This is an awesome question. I'm glad the leader of the Cat Club gave it to us because she's a man hater. But I definitely want to say absolutely it matters. It's and it should be one of the determining factors in taking a woman seriously. You got to look at her social media page as if it's her network. Like what's on her network? What content does she plays on her network? Does she play a lot of man hating and man bashing content on her network? Do she how does she portray black men and especially black fathers on her network? Does she on her platform? Does she push out a lot of negative stereotypes? Does she push out a lot of insensitive memes? Trying to degrade and disrespect black men. You also want to look at, like I say, you look at it as a network. What is the advertisements on this network? Is it titties and ass? So, because if she advertises titties and ass all day on this network, then you can't get mad when I want to partake in the titties and ass. So, also you got to think,
my brother.
I'm dead ass serious, dog. Like you can't promote that all day and then think that that's not what I'm gonna want. Also, you want to look out for the advertisement of single. If she posts this about her being single, that's all that is setting up a clock signal in the app to get dudes to come back into her DM and try to flirt with her and get that attention. So I don't trust no woman that blurts out and then posts about her being single. Because to me, that's just she's trying to grab attention. So I definitely think that you need to definitely monitor her social media, take that into consideration because people post what they want you to know. Period. They post what they want you to know, and if that's the information that she sends out, those are complete red flags. Because imagine you meeting a woman that posts positive things about black men, has a positive mindset about dating black men, has a positive mindset. Don't post titties and ass all day. You know what I'm saying? So you goddamn right. Take that into full consideration. But that's just how I feel about that one. Mario, what you think?
I think that this is like a question that had to have an answer that it can only be one way. Of course, jobs, check your social media. If you have a younger child, your mom and dad gonna check your social media, and it's because of the one thing that Chris said. Social media is what you decide to put out. See, sometimes you can't control what life throws you. You can't control what hand is dealt. But on social media, you can be whoever you want to be. So I look at social media like, if you choose to be this person, this is the foot you're putting forward to introduce to the world. Nobody's making it to you. Nobody's doing this to you. This is what you every day take your time to promote to the world. So I have to take heed to what you want to tell people to remember you by. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, how could it not? Like Chris said, if you showing ass and titties all the time, that must mean it might not even be a bad thing. That must mean that you think that's your best attribute, or you're very fond of your ass and titties. Like, let's just be realistic. You know what I'm saying?
I am too.
Not too many people with bad bodies just got a whole bunch of body pictures. Most of the people who got a lot of body pictures are people who have nice bodies. You can take that how you want to, but that's just the truth. People who are very intellectual mostly have a lot of sayings or a lot of informative stuff on their page. Most people who like entrepreneur minded have a lot of business stuff on their page. So social media, no matter how you like it, gives people a glimpse into who you are. And I think it's like trying you to say, I'm this person on social media, but that's nothing like who I am in real life.
No way.
Because that tells me this then. You phone it in a $3 bill. That means every day you sit at the computer or on your phone and pretend to be somebody or something that you're completely not. So when I hear people say that and they think it's a cop-out to who they really is, to me, it's just like, what, man? That makes no sense. So you mean to tell me that's a side of you? It might not be the side of you that everybody gets to see, but that's a side of you. You can't tell me that every day you sit here and pour all this time into this, and then it's nothing. You have nothing in common with it. If you have the ability to do that, I don't trust you far as I can see.
Exactly.
So I think when V asked that question, yes. And if somebody says no, you shouldn't trust them.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to Valoose. Put your cash out in the comments, man. We're gonna buy you lunch tomorrow.
Yeah.
$5 apiece.
$5 apiece. You better go to Taco Bell. Hey, listen.
You better.
Hey, listen.
I ain't hitting that.
And post it.
I used to love Instagram when I first got on there. But this is the most narcissistic city girl era women that I've ever seen in my life. Even the dude. So listen, I'm gonna go to the ladies' man first.
I definitely think that the social media has something to do with it. You're right, but you can't be judgmental because we're saying from a standpoint with men, ass and titties and things of that nature. What do you mean? Why not? What? Why not?
Why we can't be judgmental?
Because y'all are only talking one side. Y'all talking about ass and titties. What is it that you're talking about that this woman is putting on her content? So I wanted to know from Valoose what she meant, because it's different ways to spend it. If you're doing ass and titties, obviously any man not gonna take you serious. Like Chris said, it's an all you can eat buffet, baby. What time you open? Because that's what time we trying to slide. You can't deny that. And any woman that tell me, oh, how he came at me, please shut deep up, because that's what you was advertising. You know, when you see that come across the TV about the Big Mac, you get hungry for a Big Mac. Why? Because it's what you saw. You understand what I'm saying? But if you have somebody that's joking and stuff like that, whatever the case may be, I'm not going to take it one way or the other. I'm not going to try to class that person because I joke. And that's the reason why I said that. So, but anybody that knows me knows that I joke a lot. I'm also going to do my business. So that doesn't define who I am. It just says Zay crack jokes, but Zay's also not going to be having ass and titties out on his damn show or on his social media either, because I know how to conduct myself. So I'm split on that.
I don't know. See, I said it applies to men and women, because you got guys that sit in their office and show their ankles, show their little fancy socks, show they do be that just cheesing up. You know what I mean?
What's the problem
shirtless.
That's my point.
Always at restaurants from Miami to Tampa to Tallahassee. So it goes both ways, my brother.
And you're saying.
I'm thinking it go the same way. That's what I'm saying. Like what everything they said is the same thing. I'm saying you saying it goes both ways. I'm telling you, whatever you put out, whatever, you can't tell me that's not who you are. You just said I put out jokes. I'm a joke. So I'm a joker. Oh, because you are. You put out business because you have a business. So you're not putting out shooting at people because that's not what you do. So it's right now. If you had a page full of shooting people, then you are a shooter at some point. That's my point. I don't know. No matter what you put out, you can put out sexy bikini pictures because you're a personal trainer. It don't have to be sexual. Women, it's some women who put on tights and then they're personal trainers. I'm just saying, most people on social media are showing you a side of them that they're choosing to show you. That's all I'm saying.
Listen, I wanted to say in my reply, man, it does make a difference because you know what? Now most people, you meet someone new, you meet somebody, the first thing they do is go to your social media. Let me see what they're about. Let me see some pictures. Let me do some background checking. And I will say, personally, for my preference, I do get exhausted when I see 100 pictures of the. Listen, it's just some complex that I have. So yeah, it does make a difference. It goes back to what Chris and Mario saying. It's all about what you putting out into the atmosphere. Because I've met a lot of people, but I do want to highlight this air of narcissism. You know what I mean? It's like almost like, look at me, like I just got to have your attention. Hell, we do a show, but I can't count the time that I've been live, like go to IG live and I'm just cooking or I'm just.
But it's marketing. Yeah. You can sell that now. Mm-hmm. So times have changed. A lot of times we look at it as narcissism, but right now you're a brand. So right now, more people are going to tell us that we slipping as super friends because we're not doing that, because the more people see you, the more they buy into you, and the more you'll be able to sell Chris D'Elia shirts. Chris D'Elia, because they want to be Chris D'Elia. So a lot of people they always telling you to get on social media because people are filthy rich from people looking at them. That's amazing.
Yeah. For me, anybody, I understand that. But if I see somebody who their whole life is social media, that whole look at me type thing, I just kind of judge it like, okay, they got some voids. Anybody that needs that much attention, I can't beat the internet. I can't beat 3,000 views.
But then that's a
good
thing.
It could be working though, Harsh. You don't know.
I think that's a good thing because you get to see what she loves. But the question was, what are you taking a woman serious? If she's always got the care, it is in her face taking selfies or whatever, and she's not selling a product because of that, then that means she's to herself far more than she'll ever be into you. So pay attention to stuff like that too.
Right. Amazing.
If it's a very narcissistic woman, it's no possible way you can love her. I mean, she can love you more than she loves herself.
Love you back, right?
Especially in the self-love generation that we're living in now. It's more about self-love than love of people. Love of man, love of each other. So pay attention to that.
I think the key is what you said. If you're not selling something, because people wrap those two people in the same thing a lot of times.
Yeah,
like there's a lot of Instagram models who are selling a lot of stuff. They got tummy tea, drawers, headbands. Yeah. They selling a whole bunch of stuff.
They sell.
I know if you tell me every morning to get up and put my shirt on in the mirror, you're gonna give me $1,000 every other day. Damn, what anybody say? I'm putting the shirt on in the mirror every day. And then people gonna probably say that. What Tony said. I'm gonna take it though. I'm not gonna deny it. I'm gonna say it is what it is.
That's a person with a brand, so it's a different.
Right.
Person with a brand, I agree with Mario. Right. A person that don't have a brand, they just
they looking for
that data.
They're definitely looking for attention.
I agree.
But see, that's the thing. I think that's the point that Mario trying to make, that we're all a brand now. With the age of the social media, we all a brand, and we should understand how we can leverage this branding into making money off it. Because just like Mario was saying, it's a lot of people making money off of just living their life or doing what they would normally do. I've told my brother several times, he's good at making jokes. Put that camera in front of your face and tell jokes all day, and see how after a year of doing
most of the new comedians,
see what happens.
Yeah,
most of the new comedians that I like, not the old ones, came from me on social media.
Exactly.
And all it was is, to me, is horrors with a camera. You see what I'm saying? Like the same thing, except for you don't have to put the time and effort in saying, let me get this down, let me get this. How about me just tell jokes and be myself and walk you through my life and then do skit, and then next thing you know, like Mario's a perfect example. With a camera,
definitely is a perfect example.
Boom, you rich.
Just do it.
That's all it takes. It's a new way, and I think as we came up in the middle of that era of like we old fashioned. So what Tootie's saying is a part of us where it's like you don't gotta always be seen for everything.
Yeah.
But we come from that era. But the new era, we almost kind of got to ease into it because the new era is, like you said, you are a brand. You don't have to promote Gucci. You can promote Mario. And Gucci will come seek me to promote Gucci. Just by me having thousands of people who look at me, no matter what I'm doing. And that's that right there is a thin line. And I feel sorry for the next generation because it's going to be so hard for them to kind of weave through to determine is what Tootie's saying. Are you just a narcissist or are you trying to build up a brand? Money? That's a thin line.
Now, look at that. Listen, let me highlight one of my friends that I've met this year, Derek Burns. Derek Burns is 60 years old. Derek Burns he buries people. He does the wellness. He sanitizes for coronavirus. He does ceramic coating for cars. He sells suits. He does it all. So let me make sure I highlight my partner, Derek Burns, who is not. I got to mention him tonight. And listen, I'm not coming to no gym.
Hey, good job, Derek. Keep telling him, Derek.
Keep motivating.
Man, listen, Derek is 6'3", 102 pounds with a tapeworm in him. Some people just
Derek had you boxing. That was Derek had you boxing.
No, he was professional. He was in a professional.
Nah, bro.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Rock Fitness. I know where he was at.
Okay. Raw Dog has spoken.
Oh man.
Pause.
I'm the I do need to pause. Listen, I'm the CBC champ. I'm going to closing comments. Chris, we're not giving out no free commercials. All right.
Oh man, damn, I had one too.
No Guinness. No, I'm talking about Guinness.
Oh my bad. Sorry about that.
All right.
Mahmoud Abdul Rauf.
Hey, wait. You know what? No, I'm going to the ladies' man since he was last. He should be last. Should be first.
Okay. Say what you like. I appreciate y'all coming out. Velouz, thank you for the question. I think more of our supporters need to follow suit of that young lady. You're brave. You're the first of many because they're going to come. But that was definitely a good question because if you asked it, I'm quite sure a lot of other individuals wanted to know the same thing. But appreciate you, please. The rest of y'all follow suit. I want to thank y'all for watching us again this Monday. I know that we went extra long, but it's okay because y'all stayed with us and we appreciate all the support that y'all give us. I'm coming to y'all from H-Town. I'm the one that's going to be in the office taking pictures of my brand. Come do your taxes with me. Come get your haircut with me. Zabo, the latest man, the haircutter, the tax preparer, all those things. He thanks you personally from the
the dude with the candy cane.
Hey, listen, somebody asked me about it. I think you've been going around spreading my business. Me, you have to talk after we get off this air.
Boy, don't be in a fraternity you ain't gonna represent, cuz. Chris Caesar Leo.
That was so many years ago.
Oh man,
a Kappa, always a Kappa.
Well,
man,
damn. Well, I didn't have one prepared tonight, man. So I just wanted to say thanks to everybody for showing up again. Thanks for Velouz for sending the viewer question. We really, really appreciate it. And actually, it was a good question because it really makes sense. Since Horace talked to me about branding, giving up someone else's branding, I want to talk about my own company. Pick up, man. We business is starting to pick up, but if you're in the Orlando area and you need independent, private pickup and delivery, if you got the buck, I got the truck. We pick up in a pickup. Call pick up.
All right, going up top to Super Mario Senior, who I respect. After having to get an inspection and to a new listen, I respect what you do, my brother. You was a cash cow, my brother. I respect what you do, dog. As I got that bill in the mail.
Hey man, I know it's the end of the show, but when Tootie told me that, I was so gratified that he understood the whole reason why I do what I do, because it's so important, because it's such, you're right, it's money on top of hand. And just to go through that process, you can find a house you like. I can give you a report. It cannot fit your standards. You pay me. You don't want the house. You go find another house. I give you a report. You pay me. You don't fit your standards. And this can go on and on and on and on and on. And one customer can pay me 4 or 5 times. I'm not that guy, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to cut you a deal. But I'm just telling you, like, when you ask about kids, I tell so many young black guys who don't want to go to school, I have everything it needs. So if you know any little black boy who wants to become a home inspector, I have every book, every testlet, everything you need to become. And I will Xerox it and mail it to your door. And I'm always available to go any tutoring, to walk you through the test, because when I tell you it's no age limit and there's no license renewal on being a home inspector. All you have to do is get certified in your state. And you can be 18 or 83 and do home inspections. It's a great way to supplement your income when you retire. So if you know anybody who is interested in this, they can hit any one of these guys. They know how to get in contact with me, or you can call me at 404-798-7045. But first of all, I want to say thank you for coming. And there's one thing else I want y'all to do. Please follow Volusa's lead. We've been asking, begging, she heard our cry. So I want to say, Chris was not joking. We're definitely going to pay for your lunch tomorrow. We're definitely.
Send the cash out.
Send the cash out. Put your cash app on live and we'll pay for your lunch.
Yeah. Put your cash app on.
And because we appreciate that, because we have been begging and pleading, and you actually took the time and did it. So now we're going to ask y'all to do a couple more things for us. Like, share, and repost these shows. Listen, the farther we grow, the farther y'all grow. Wouldn't it be nice with all this black power and we in this renaissance of the new black to say, I was a part of helping 4 black fathers, brothers, and husbands, and some husbands to be, get to the promised land? So do yourself a favor. Be a better you this year. And know what you can do? Help your black super friends by being a super friend to us. Like, share, and tell everybody you know tomorrow and from every day else in your life that God give you breath about our show. And I promise you, we'll pay it back for it. Thank you.
All right. And that's on Mary Had a Little Lunch Money.
Amen, brother, with that benediction.
Hey, guys, thank you for joining in. Mario has said everything that needs to be said. We thank you for tuning in to another weekend of the Black Super Friends podcast. Next week, I'm going to talk about some issues I'm having, because I'm starting to think that some producers are watching our show. Because I'm saying some of the bigger shows next week after our show go over the same thing. I'm like, like it's just getting to be a little suspicious. You ain't got to do that. You ain't got to do
Not
that.
little us. Not little
yeah,
us.
Man. Listen, I seen a sucker trying to riff like me, man. Juggle was crying and stuff, but you know, it is what it is, man. Shout out to the Black Podcast Networks that are out there. We can all be great together, man. We all can do this. Everybody has a message. Like I say, I'm on this show with my 3 best friends, but I get a lot from my brothers. You know what I mean? From Chris. You know, Chris goes around the world at times and ties it in and gives me a message. And the brother's very wise. Mario's the wisest person in the group. And then Zay, I take stuff from him, whether I want it or not. He is the master of it. Just F it. Shoulder shrug. You know what I mean? He traveling like his passport don't expire. So from all of us, man, you get 4 different perspectives. And I think that we appreciate the support we've gotten. We're coming up on a 1-year show, and we're going to get creative and find out what we can do, man. But I commend you guys for taking this journey and giving back and letting people see parts of your life and share your thoughts about the future. So to everyone that joined us tonight, I thank you from the bottom of my heart, and we thank you as a team. So catch us next week. Peace.
Oh.